Okay, so been a bit since I've done any videos. I kind of had plans for some big ones I was gonna review, but I completely forgot about them when I built them. And since I take these apart after I get done posting them on ArtStation, I haven't really had a post to share recently or a video record because I'm an idiot. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about two mechs that are in the same universe as the Federation and Varchild ones. I think I've done Varchilds right in this channel. I don't know. Not the point. The point is we're going to be talking about the Solitaire and the Mak. Now, I'm going to give you the lore on the Solitaire and link to the ArtStation that I made for it, but the Mak, its lore is so long, I'm just going to link it. I'm not going to give the lore, but I'll give a little TLDR, if you will. I guess I could say that. We'll go into the lore real quick and I'll do the measurements. The COG-20 battlemech was made to patrol the massive defensive walls around this Ida city. For this reason, it has to be fast, like really fast. How fast? It was last clocked at 356 miles per hour, but that was last charted on September 8th, 2413. Nowadays, the platform has not needed to test how fast it can go. And for the Mak, let me just move the camera just slightly. And for the Mak, basically it's the Mackie, just a little bit different. It is the first battle mech in this universe for the IPOS faction. That's why they carry the same colors. In fact, they're from the same battle mech battalion. But yeah, it's basically the Mackie story slightly, but a little bit more, I guess you could say, desperate. Basically, when they made this, they were desperate enough to hold back an invasion to take the planet they were already on because they were colonists on a planet. They didn't have enough power for enough military. They were mostly colonists. The people that were supposed to be taking them to their destination through the FTL travel they had, instead claimed the planet for themselves because they're selfish, and the war started during the Insurrection Wars, which is a whole thing in the universe I don't want to go into. But basically, this has the same similar lore to the Mackie. It just waddled its fat ass onto the battlefield. Seemed like it was more of a joke than anything else, and it exploited the hubris of the knight's ship that was that brought them there, and destroyed the ship. The only reason that there's any one of them is still in existence is there are only 5 of them. 3 of them got destroyed in the ship assault because the ship was exploded. 1 was total beyond all repair and just abandoned, still being somewhere in the world probably. And this one, which is the only one that was still functional, that they kept it together for as long as possible. That's the TLDR. But yeah, that's the 2 of them. Let's get the height real quick if I have the chance with the handy dandy ruler. I'm just going to go with inches because that's a lot easier to remember because there's not the little loop up here throwing everything off of the millimeters. So, over to inches. If I look at it correctly for the Solitaire, let me just measure about here. It's a few notches off from 7 inches. For the Mak, I have to actually look over to it instead of using the camera. If we go by its little air intake thing on its shoulder, the thing that's behind right now, it's roughly about 7 inches. So they're roughly the same height, 7 inches tall. You're supposed to be standing. Anyways, but yeah, that's their height. In lore, this is a medium, this is a heavy. The reason that they're different weights, despite being the same size more or less, is because this one is made with more lightweight materials and less armaments. This is supposed to be a hulking mass of metal that lumbers around and kicks ass. But nowadays it's just there to, walk onto the battlefield and bark orders. But, yeah. This one's meant for being so fucking fast that it's able to race around giant circular walls around a city. Because for this city, there's only one way in and out. These defensive walls are massive. In comparison, these things would be about 20 feet tall. The walls are about 30 to 40, depending on what city it's from. So it's impossible to get past the walls, and they're extremely reinforced and heavily armed to the teeth. They even have armor plating that slides over them since they're slanted. That allows them to be extremely sturdy and able to take a lot of punishment. And as long as aircraft don't get in through any other ways, I might honestly build one of these damaged walls as a as like a vignette to show how tall they are. That'd be a lot of parts, so, but it would at least allow me to show how the way it would be designed. But yeah, these giant super armored structure or cement and steel walls that are able to stop multiple kind of attacks and everything. I mean, you can have a nuke cook off right next to it, they'll all still be standing. It'll be irradiated, but the wall will still be standing. But yeah, these guys are meant to race around. I'm gonna move the Mac out of the way for a sec and actually give you a 360 on the solitaire. If you can't tell the inspiration for either of these, one's obvious, this one should be even more obvious. This one's inspired by the Mech Assault or Battletech Cougar. I really did like its design so much. I mean, I even tried to get the jump jets that Mech Assault had for it. The guns as well. It's also based off I guess a fan design I found where it looked more jet-like with limbs. I decided to go with that design a little more. In fact, these guns were a last-minute change. But yeah, that's the Cougar. It has 2 autocannons, some lasers, and what would be both an intake and a missile system. So basically inside these slots here, little square ones, there would be, if it's going at full speed to keep the core from going critical and exploding because of overheating, these would be used as air intakes to drown out that heat. And when it's not at full speed, missile ammo is loaded in and it will be launched out of it. It can't launch missile ammo if it's at full speed. I'll move you off to the side for it. In fact, I'll let you poke through like I won't want you. Anyways, let's get into the Mac. Let's give him a 360 real quick. Again, this one was heavily inspired by the Battletech Mackie. In fact, this is the first time I've done a design where it follows the Battletech Mackie. This is actually the second version of this. One of the things I do want to say is that the red on all of these, that's to denote which battalion they are. So like the 55th Battlemech Battalion, which is all these guys are from. That's why they have the little red accents. Any other battalions would have like maybe a magenta or a green. It would have a little bit of an accent color to denote its division. So if it gets destroyed, they know which division it came from, and they can actually probably look into who it might have been, get some more research, because when these things explode, it vaporizes the pilot, because, you know, they're literally right in front of a giant plasma reactor, and if it explodes, they're vaporized. So, yeah, there's no way to actually make sure that they're not, that they're able to be, that the families can mourn if they've actually died or not, or been lost in combat. That way they can actually, that's the way you can actually find out who they are. As well as other things like information that might be put in a place where it would be less likely to be destroyed, or the black box like we should see in jetliners. But yeah, that is the Solitaire and the Mac. I'm probably get some people say, "Oh, this is ripping off Battletech." Nothing I make for Assault is original. You sooner or later you will notice that there is a consistency with some of my builds. Like one of them that you'll see on the art station is a Kraken. It's just a War of the Worlds tripod mixed with the Halo Scarab. I'm not hiding that either. Another one looks like the Mammoth from Halo 4, just a little bit more boxier, and that's a Scorpion. Those are on my art station. I'll have links to these two, and just browse my art station if you want. I had to get to removing the original posts for these guys so they can just be these ones, because I like these versions way better. But that's all I wanted to say. Hope you have a great day, a good night, and goodbye.